Yes, people. Hang on a second. We're trying to find Mr. Murray. You can hear him. You can hear him if he speaks, but you can't see him for some reason. Why is it not working, man? It doesn't make sense. You should be right next to me now, bro, and you're not. I mean, why are you hiding for?
Been too long, man. It's been so long since we've done one of these.
See, that one's there, but we don't need that one. We need this one.
If everybody does !reveal Hugh in the chat, I will
appear. He will appear out of nowhere. Yes, it's chat, by the way. Appreciate you all, innit? Hashtag, yeah, !reveal Hugh. Give me a sec. Let me just find Hugh. We're just gonna have to botch it for this one because.
Yeah, while he's doing that, man, while he's sorting that out, do us a favor. 120 of you in the building. Reveal naked Hugh. BA Freddy. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. Let's get it up to 75 likes rapid. We're going to be chatting about the Cancelo thing, why he left Man City. We got some news about that. Some information broke, so we're going to chat away about that. We can all give our thoughts. There's a few pieces of information we're going to talk about whenever you can see me. But yeah, smash the like button, man. Good numbers here for an afternoon stream. And subscribe if you're new around here. You can't find me. I'm a ghost. I'm the ghost of City Xtra.
You're popping in and out. Like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's now working, so I'm just not going to touch anything. And it is now working. Yeah, you're
I'm here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another stream. Like I said, we're going to get into all the Cancelo news. He's beefing a bit. According to this report, allegedly, Cancelo has been beefing, or he was beefing when he was at Man City. And he was name-dropping Rico Lewis in this situation. Porty's going to give us the details. We're going to hash it out. We're going to have a chat. You lot, like I said, smash a like, subscribe, and give your thoughts in the chat on Cancelo. Before we do, I do want to raise a point about Cancelo. I want to get your thoughts in the chat. Seeing as this is a community, a City community, I want to get your thoughts, yeah? After the City-Liverpool game, I was seeing things like Trent is the best, can be the best fullback to ever play the game. And I was saying Trent simply can't defend well enough to be the best fullback to ever play the game. I said I never saw Cancelo getting these praises because Cancelo was actually exceptional going forward, but poor going backwards. Chat, is that a W or an L take? I don't know.
I mean, Trent can't be the best defender, the best fullback to ever play the game. He'll never overtake Kyle Walker as one of the best fullbacks. So Kyle Walker's ahead of him in that list already.
You can't be the best fullback if you can't defend. The primary fundamental of a fullback is that you can defend. If you can be excellent going forward, that's amazing. That'll elevate you. That'll make you great. But don't give me in this bullshit that, oh, it's not his game. It's not what he's meant to do. It's not what he's there for. If you're playing fullback, you should be able to defend. Simple as.
Mm-hmm.
Trent.
Anyways, run it. Jake Lewis, yes, with the 15 months, says, you lads about this weekend in town. Would love to have a pint. I go down London on the 4th, but I'm in England till the 11th. Villa and Luton away for me. Yes, Jake, because if you've got a Luton ticket as well, that's big. Go on, Jake, lad. If I'm about, send us a message on Instagram, mate. If I'm about, I'll hit you with the pint. Right, the big up for 15 months. Not Trent, sorry, you got me on Trent now. Cancelo news. There is Cancelo news popping off. Obviously, he left a few years ago now. And it was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? It was a bit of a mess when he left the football club. The people were talking about maybe is the hope after pre-season of him being able to come back into City side, but that is not the case. So the first things that we heard way back was that Cancelo disrespected Pep. He'd thrown a ball at him during training. There was a bust up. Ruben Diaz had to step in and was like basically telling Cancelo, what you doing, mate? There was like loads of rumours, stuff like that. So Pep was like, look, get out of my team. There was rumours about in the tunnel for one of our games. I can't remember which one it was. Cancelo was heard talking to his agent saying, get me out of this football club. There's loads of things. Was it
Villa? Was it the 3-1 against Villa after the Chargers came in? Or no, that was too late, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Yeah, it would have been too late. That I can't. And again, I don't know when it was. But yeah, he was heard saying, "Get me out of this football club." There's loads of different variations of this story that you've heard, and all could potentially be true. But the one of them that we have been confirmed that is true Basically, Martin Perarnau, I don't know if it's his name. If you don't know, he's the guy who always does Pep's books. I'm pretty sure that's the same Donny. Freddie can confirm that.
So is this actually like 100% confirmed information? What we're about to hear?
Yeah. Martin Perarnau guy. He always does Pep's books, so he always like writes about. I've got one somewhere. So he's basically come out and he's said that. This is the exact quotes from it. He said, "When Cancelo feels handsome, he feels very handsome, and he is very handsome." For example, yesterday, Barcelona's 2-1 victory against Porto. This is obviously at the time in the Champions League. So saying that he had a good game, then he scored in that game as well. He says, when Cancelo feels ugly, and when I say ugly, I mean it metaphorically, for whatever reason, the collapse is very large. So then basically saying that when Cancelo's comfortable and he's happy, then Cancelo will thrive and do bits, as you can see, like he did in Barcelona in that game against Porto. However, when things aren't going so well, they tend to fall off a cliff. And that's pretty much what happened at City as well. That is very, very true to the way it went with us. Now this is where one of the big reasons of it came in. So carry on. Before
you go on, let's dissect that first piece of information, because Pep Guardiola is being very generous with his choice of words there. He's indirectly saying Joao Cancelo is a spoiled brat. Brat, yeah? Yeah, so well, when you're giving him,
that's not Pep saying that. That's not a Pep quote. That's that Martin Perarnau. Who's quotes that?
Okay. The guy Big up Perarnau. He's saying indirectly Cancelo's a spoiled brat. He's saying that when Cancelo has everything his own way, he's playing football, everyone's praising him, he's getting goals and assists, he's happy out.
Yeah, he's happy,
but give him a little bit of but give him a bit of adversity, drop him for a couple of games, don't play him where he wants to play, or play him with a combination of players he doesn't like, he'll start throwing his toys out of the pram. This lines up with what we were told. I know we're going to go on, but this lines up with what we were told about Cancelo, and it lines up with why Pep Guardiola wanted rid of him. Because Pep Guardiola does not want anybody in that dressing room feeling they have any authority over him. So if you're going to throw your toys out of the pram because Pep Guardiola's doing something you don't like, you may get fucked.
Yeah, you don't have a place in the team, basically, if you're not willing to adapt to the way that Pep works. And if you're not willing to sit on, look at the players that have had to sit on the sidelines for not just our team, for Pep teams. Do you know what I mean? The guy got rid of Ronaldinho. The guy got rid of Zlatan when he was at Barcelona, things like that. Do you know what I mean? The guy, he doesn't. If you don't go with the Pep way, then you can go somewhere else, basically.
Pep's way or the highway, isn't it? Pep's way or the highway. That's the way it runs.
And it's worked for us, so we have no reason to not do that.
If you're a player, I don't understand why you wouldn't just indulge Pep's way, because the guy has the resume and the CV and everything to back up to suggest why you should just buy into what he's doing. You shouldn't try to come in and stamp your authority over him or throw your toys at the pram because you don't like what he's doing. I for one can't understand why a Zlatan or a Cancelo or a Ronaldinho or any of these kind of players would be like, nah, I don't like what he's doing, I want to leave. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, anyway. The Fraser says there, you buy to his philosophy or you get the fuck out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you're a player, though, you know what to expect when you come into a Pep side. And I get it was difficult for Cancelo at the start as well. He did have a difficult time to get into the team. And then obviously he had his mainstay and then he kind of dropped out a little bit. Pep started changing things. But you just got to be patient, man, and hope that you do get back in there and try and work your way back into the side. Professional idiot, it says Pie with a 5. Our idiot, mate. Big up Pie. Says Trent can easily be beat by a simple step over. I remember when Sterling went against Trent and took him out of the equation with a simple step over. Yeah, Trent. It's not a question whether Trent will be. It shouldn't even be in discussion whether Trent could be the best ever fullback in the Premier League. I just don't think it can be a thing. The guy can't defend.
Nope.
It's not a thing, nope. Man. Anyway, so Perarnau, or however you say his name, is his first name. Let me check his first name because I'm just going to call him Martin if it is his first name. I'm pretty sure it is Martin. No, it's Marty, so I'm going to call him Martin now because I don't know how to say his last name. Marty went on and he basically described the situation of the Cancelo and City fallout, the Pep thing, stuff like that, and then how he went on to the Bayern Munich transfer, which is what we were talking about before, the whole ball thrown at Pep, and do you know what I mean? Basically all the controversy that we heard around that time, basically that. But this is the reason that we didn't know was a thing until now. This is like one of the main reasons why this guy is gone. Carl says, who is this guy? Does he work for Barcelona? He doesn't work for Barcelona. He's the guy who writes Pep's books. He basically follows Pep round and gets all the information from Pep Guardiola himself, and writes all the books that you see about Pep Guardiola, like when he's at his different football clubs. So he gets like the pure inside knowledge. So anything that he's saying, mate, is gospel because he's genuinely getting inside info.
He shadows Pep. He's Pep's shadow.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
And him and Pep are like best mates. They go sit down for dinners and that. He's the guy who basically came out and was like, Pep never shuts up about football. Even when they just go for dinner together, he will just be talking about football still. Like that's just Pep, and he just doesn't turn off. Right, so this is what it says here. So obviously we know about Rico Lewis and his stepping up into the squad. He's been smashing it. Obviously, still a youngster, not overtaking Kyle Walker, not really got his mainstay in the side. However, has been smashing it and done bits. And this is what Marty says. He says there's a phenomenon the beginning of the year, which was the appearance of Rico Lewis at a time when Cancelo returned from the World Cup in a very poor state of form, and Kyle Walker returned injured. It's obviously speaking about last season. He said Pep opted for 18-year-old youth player Rico Lewis over two highly experienced players, because that's when Cancelo and Kyle Walker were both out the team. So he was opting for Rico Lewis over both of them. And Lewis did not shrink from the opportunity, soon earned a place in the right wing of City. It says here, the only solution was to put the 17-year-old Rico against Chelsea, Liverpool, and the other teams that he played in that during that time. And then he said the kid is starting to put in extraordinary performances and he's going to win the job. But Cancelo didn't want to accept that. And this is what Cancelo said. Cancelo said, I'm Joao Cancelo and I'm going to play, not this kid. So fuming that Cancelo, that Rico Lewis is getting the spot above him. Cancelo demands to play football. Pep clearly turns around and goes, that's not how this works at this football club.
That is wild. Do you know how much of a dickhead you have to be to say something like that? Wow.
I understand. I understand Cancelo knowing his worth, because Cancelo is a very good footballer, two-time Premier League Player of the Year, Premier League team this season, whatever it is. He is a very good footballer. He'll do bits in his career, like in different places where he goes, but it's not the right mental attitude to be having when you're going into a when competition for places is healthy. It is healthy. I understand him being like, oh, I deserve to be playing, but you need to show that. You need to show that to Pep why you deserve to be playing over Rico Lewis. If Pep chooses Rico Lewis, you've got to respect that. You can't just say, no, he's not playing. He's 18-year-old. I'm playing. You're not playing this kid. Do you know what I mean? It's giving Ronnie Pickering vibes. Do you know what I mean?
I think Cancelo struggles with the concept of what is it? Competition. He struggles with the concept of competition. It comes across very much like he believes he has a God-given right to be starting and playing week in, week out, regardless of form, regardless of circumstances. And if there's any one manager right now in world football that does not believe anybody has a God-given right to be playing in his team, it's Pep Guardiola. So you chose the wrong manager, Cancelo, to go off on like that a bit. It's extremely arrogant. It's extremely arrogant. I mean, I think one of the reasons that Kyle Walker is respected so much in the dressing room, and he has the captaincy now, is due to the fact that he is known for being excellent with younger players. He's always encouraging them. He always wants them to do well. He's known to be a great leader, a great example for Rico Lewis, and he's always helping Rico Lewis. You contrast that with Cancelo, who's calling him this kid or this 17-year-old whatever, and saying, I'm Joao Cancelo. They're polar opposite personalities, and Cancelo's personality, it's a red flag in every sense of the phrase for Pep Guardiola. It really is. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to hear those kind of things, because before the whole squabble between Pep and Cancelo, I liked Cancelo. I did.
like
I
Cancelo.
liked what he offered to us. I think he's a baller. Technically, he's really gifted. I think he lacks defensively, but going forward, he's one of the most creative fullbacks in world football. I liked him. I liked his role in the team. I liked what he had to offer. So it's disappointing, but it's not a surprise either because when we first signed Cancelo and we gave, wasn't it Danilo to Juventus, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working in a restaurant not so far from my house, and there was a big Juve fan working with me. It was an Italian restaurant, and he said to me, "Hugh, you've got a baller on your hands here in Cancelo, but the guy's a handful. He's a prick. Like he's gonna at some stage he'll cause problems in your dressing room." Lo and behold, he caused problems in the dressing room.
I mean, Cal says Juventus fans warned us, and that was a thing at the time. Like, Juventus fans were saying at the time when we got him that there was a reason that Juventus was we're not happy to get rid of him. They did get cash for him, and obviously they got Danilo in return. But he is hard work, and when he first came to the club, there was talks of him never making it at City and just cutting ties with him because he wasn't getting into the team above Kyle Walker. And then there was rumours that he wasn't happy because he wasn't getting his spot above Kyle Walker. But you don't just do that. You're not just going to come and walk into the side and take someone else's spot. It's very rare that happens anyway, especially when you've got someone of the quality of Kyle Walker there who is still slamming to this day. And you're right in the sense of the polar opposites, Kyle Walker and Cancelo. They're actually, like, to be able to disrespect someone like Rico Lewis and say just this kid, he's not playing above me, isn't right, man. Isn't that's not the right way. That's not the right attitude to go into the dressing room and do that. But it's confusing. It's confusing because from all I've heard from everything is that Cancelo loves City and he enjoyed his time here, things like that. I just think he thought he deserved to be starting. And like I said, from one perspective, I can understand knowing your worth. But you've still got to respect your manager's decision and respect the team around you because what he did was disrespectful. It's disrespectful to everyone.
Mega disrespectful. Mega disrespectful to Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, who showed faith in him. If Pep Guardiola brings you to his team, he has faith in you and he wants something out of you and he believes you have a role. So to turn around like that and start questioning Pep's decisions, I mean, in hindsight, it looks really bad for Cancelo. Not just the individual incident, but like if he didn't kick off like that, right now Cancelo would be a treble winner. He's never won a Champions League.
I know.
He'd be a Champions League winner. He'd be a treble winner, and so on and so forth. But look, I don't know. It's a weird one. Chat, there's 300 people in the building. Not even 100 likes, man. Let's get those likes up rapid. The likes really help more people find the channel. And subscribe if you're new around here and you like listening to myself, Porty, and guests on a weekly basis. So just hit the like button. It massively helps. I don't know, man. It's disappointing.
It is, man. It is. It's not good to hear it. Obviously, it's not. I mean, we're not trying to stream negative news and that. It was just, it's something that us on streams we get asked quite a lot. When we mentioned Cancelo, it was like, oh, why did he ever leave? And I see it a lot. And even when we first started the stream, people in the chat was like, oh, I'm looking forward to this to see why he actually left. And now we've heard that it's mainly down to the fact that the fallout with Pep obviously is major, but this was one of the stumbling blocks in falling out with Pep Guardiola. He couldn't accept Rico Lewis being in the side above him, and that's not something you can do at Manchester City. You have a fight for your spot, and with the competition that's ahead of you at that time, and try and get yourself back into the team, or you're out the door. I mean, you said before, Kyle Walker's a perfect example in this. Kyle Walker didn't even start the Champions League final. How good Kyle Walker is. He's now our captain. Didn't even start the Champions League final, and he was gutted. He was gutted about that, and he's come out, didn't he, in the interview thing, saying that he was upset, and he was upset with the manager's decision, but he had to respect the manager's decision to not play him because he had an idea. And what did Kyle Walker do then? He switched his mentality. He switched his mentality and was like, right, and he was wanting the lads to go out there and do the job because he knew that he couldn't be on that pitch. He respected the manager's decision and went ahead with it. And then he's still at the football club now, and he's our captain and plays week in, week out. Like, I
think it really impresses Pep. I think it really impresses Pep when he does drop you for one reason or another, and you don't complain. You just get on with it. You work hard. You put your head down. We've had loads of players like that over the years. I mean, the ones that come to mind are Nathan Ake. Even in his first season, wasn't seeing a huge amount of football. Got his head down, worked hard, had an unbelievable season last season, and then slightly further back, you got Zinchenko. Zinchenko was basically told, you're not going to get any football. You may as well go to Wolves when that offer came in, And he said, nah, I'm going to stay and fight for my place. He became a very, very good player for us. And these are the kind of players that Pep wants in his squad. So it's no surprise that as soon as Cancelo started dropping comments like that to Pep, Pep immediately said, nah, that's too much of a red flag. You're gone. I can't have you in the dressing room. Because it's not just a case of Pep's having a back and forth with Cancelo. This can have a growing effect, like mold in the dressing room, if you like. It'll just grow. It'll start festering. He'll start bitching up. He'll start bitching to other players, like the other Portuguese lads. I don't know, Bernardo, start getting in his ear about, oh, what do you think about what Pep's doing here? And the Ruben Diaz, what do you think about what Pep's doing here? And just causing general unnecessary negative vibes in the dressing room. Pep and Man City have prided themselves on the fact that our dressing room is always a unity. It's always together. It's always we are one. You can't have little fractions and segments breaking out and players turning against the manager. And it only does. It just starts with one player. You saw it with Man United with Ronaldo. He totally turned half the dressing room against Erik ten Hag last season. The place was divided. I'm not saying that would have happened to us, but you can't run the risk. Bad egg, fuck him in the bin.
Yeah, there's no need for it. There's no space for it either at this football club. Beyond Belief there says, Walker did a speech for the Champions League final saying, my dream is in your hands. That is very, very true. And he said, Walker knew he was missing out rather than sulk and feel sorry for himself. He was doing speeches to motivate his teammates. Yeah, he had his little moment of feeling sorry for himself and being gutted about it, but then he switched it and was like, yeah, this is it. This is, do you know what I mean? I respect the manager's decision, and this is the way that we're going forward with that. It's a shame, really, because I think Cancelo could have done bits still at this football club. I think it had gone on and I mean, there's times where he could have played in games for us.
I have a question. I have a question for you, and I want the chat to be interactive as hell with this as well. In the summer, when Cancelo was in South Korea with the squad, he played decent when he was called upon. Yeah, he did. Did you, yes or no, want a Cancelo remontada? And please don't take in today's information and say, no. At that point, I wanted a Cancelo remontada. I did. I was like, he's falling out.
Me and you manifested it. Me and you were like, it could be remontada season for Cancelo here.
I know. He's a baller. Like, chat, he's a prick, but he's a baller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you can have bad personalities, but as footballing goes, he is cold. And yeah, I mean, Enoch or E-Ink in the chat says, yes, only if Pep forgave him. The reason I thought there was a remontada on the cards was, my thought process was, if he's going to South Korea with the squad, they must have had a conversation to suggest they squashed the beef, and maybe Cancelo apologized and so on and so forth. So I was like, maybe there's a little remontada on the cards here, but Pep
it was shop window, wasn't it? It was shop window mode. It was basically the only reason that he was playing in the matches was to just get a suitor in for him to buy him, and that actually didn't happen. He's not been bought yet. He's on a loan to buy option at Barcelona. Obviously, I think it's £25 million as well, which is
they'll pay that.
I think it's still criminally underpriced for the player that he is. He's worth a lot more than a £25 million player, but to us, he's not worth that, because for anyone else in world football, you're going, yeah, that's a steal because he's worth more than that. But then, like, to the actual football club and to Pep, he is not worth that, because keeping him at the football club to hold out on the money is not an option. Is not an option. Hence why, as soon as the Premier League started, Cancelo wasn't even in the team. He wasn't even with the squad instantly. As soon as pre-season ended and the actual game started, Pep cut him from the squad again completely. He was just fully frozen out. And it was like 2 or 3 games later, he got sold to Barcelona, or like loaned out to Barca.
The 25 million option to buy, that only is for Barcelona, I assume. It's in his loan contract right now.
Yeah, that's for Barca. And if they don't accept that, then he'll probably go for cheaper to somewhere else. Or for around that same price.
Yeah. See, you know what it is, though? It's things like what came out today might make it difficult for him to find a club at the level that he wants.
Well, you know what I mean? He clearly is finding it difficult already, because no one's come in with a permanent offer for him. But Bayern didn't want him. I mean, it's a wild situation. It's a wild situation. And Enoch there says in this market, he's generally £80 million player. He has 3 years left on his contract.
Yeah, he only signed the new one.
He signed the new one the same season that he got. Like the beginning of that season where they binned him off. Like, crazy, I think it was that crazy. Summer. So like it's crazy, man. Top of league says my partner is Portuguese, hates Benfica, but we did hope Cancelo would work out. It's massively known that he's a sulker. Silva was always the peacemaker. What happened was always going to happen. I think a big thing in that whole bust up with Pep and that whole situation was the fact that Ruben Diaz was one of the people to get involved with that and tell Cancelo that he was wrong. Like you'd as fans looking in, obviously we don't see behind the scenes too much. You'd assume the Portuguese players would stick together kind of thing, and then there'd be a little click. But now Ruben Diaz was like, "Nah, you're wrong," and was very, very adamant about that, which is sick. Musa with the 7 months. Yes, bro. Says Cancelo, nah, mate. We won a Champions League without him. Do you guys think we will get Verts this coming summer since we moved on Paqueta?
Are we actually linked with Verts? Are we linked with him? Have we ever had a link with him?
Yeah, we scouted him in summer. Or we had a look at some situation in summer about looking at it, but personally, I don't see it happening. Verts, I don't see it happening. I think we'll get Paqueta in January.
I think Verts will cost a bomb.
Yeah,
I think he'll cost a load because the hype.
They're not going to sell him until after the Euros because Bayer Leverkusen, they had offers last summer and they were adamant that Euros, they're thinking that he's going to have a sick Euros this Euros and he'll slam it and his price will go up even higher. So they're already looking, there you go. B says they already want £120 million for him. Crazy money. I think City will get Paqueta for around 70 mil.
Yeah, that's right.
I reckon there's rumours about that case being cleared now. It's just not announced yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, basically, it's going in the direction of he's not guilty. So
the article Bossman sent to us yesterday says that City have personal terms agreed with him and they're ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, the personal terms are already agreed. Do you remember when we played West Ham and they gave each other a hug? Personal terms were already agreed. We had an £85 million deal. Basically, West Ham were like, yep. That's fine, but then all this stuff happened, and then on the Tuesday, City pulled out and was like, "Whoa, hang about, there's something going on here," and then they swerved it. But if that gets cleared, I think City go straight back in for him in January, and then we have Paqueta in there, which I think is good because we're gonna have to manage Kev's minutes, and obviously people are now kind of looking at Alvarez as is he the right man to play his midfield? Does keep going missing a little bit. I know he's been smashing it this season with goals and assists and that. But I think having someone in there like Paqueta would be sick. It'd be sick.
Yeah, I think I said on the Big Six. I said he will be a Man City player. I think he's a Man City player in waiting. It's just once City get the documents, and the final legal clearance on his gambling thing, they'll pull the trigger. They'll go and get it done. And the fact that it's taken 6 months to a year longer means we'll get him cheaper than what we would have got him for last summer anyway.
Yeah. Like I say, it will be cheaper. I'm not sure how much. But have you seen? This is just I'm just pivoting to other news that's not transfer news, but is an actual madness. Have you seen sin bin? So, they're potentially trialing sin bins in the Premier League. The International Football Association Board have approved plans to trial the use of sin bins. So where you just temporarily leave a pitch. That's going to be wild. Basically, they're drawing up now regulations of how it's going to be implemented into the Premier League, and the 2024-25 season will have sin bins.
It's rugby, innit? That's where they got it from. It's gonna be jarring because you'll have all these debates. Oh, you only beat us because you scored your goal and we had a sin bin.
Yeah,
all that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Bruno,
bro, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want a sin bin, man. Someone said there, Cal, leave football alone, innit? Just leave it. Leave it. Orange cards, 10 min sin bin punishments.
Nah, I don't fuck with that, man. Just send him off. If he's a bad boy, send him off.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to hear no sin bins, man.
Plus, then you're going to get the issue of drawing a line of orange and red and orange and yellow. You know what I mean? It's just going to cause more controversy. Then now does VAR get involved in that?
I mean, Carl says just leave football alone. I agree. Yeah, just leave the game alone, man. Stop tampering. Stop tampering with the beautiful game.
Yeah, it's a mess, mate. It's a mess. Fuck your sin bins. Keep them at rugby. Don't need them here. We don't need sin bins. What we need is
you'll have
proper referees
doing the hacking every 4 games.
Started the hacker before games. Yes, yes, Jerry says Premier League proving every year they want to ruin football. VAR, sin bin, for fuck's sake. The only good bit of technology that they brought in was goal line technology. That's sick goal line technology. I rate that.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think Prem have rejected the idea of using the because Champions League got the offside thing, haven't they? The virtual offside. I think they
semi-automated, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they rejected that. I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I've seen someone saying that they rejected it. They want them to do their own thing as always. But yeah, cool. that's cool. basically your stream. That's the news that we've got on this one anyway. Cancelo left Man City due to the fact of obviously the bust up with Pep and stuff earlier on, but one of the major reasons was because Rico Lewis stepped up. And Cancelo really didn't like the fact that Rico Lewis was starting above him, and Pep basically said, "That's not how we run things here."
He didn't back himself, man. He didn't back himself against a 17-year-old. That's a poor sign of character, if you ask me.
The mentality, it's the mentality of I should be starting above this kid. Do you know what I mean? That ain't it. That's not what to be having. Respect your teammates, mate. Respect your teammates.
Yeah.
But that's nice. Watching this back on a replay, do let us know in the comment section below what your thoughts on Cancelo. Would you have liked to Cancelo remontada, as you said before? Is that something that you would have liked to see in summer? Or are you pretty much with the majority? You're happy that the Cancelo is now left? And let us know on what you think about his reasonings for leaving Manchester City. Leave a like on the video / stream. It depends how you watch this. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the way to 85k. We're close now as well. We're close. I'm manifesting it hard, bro. Manifesting hard this 85k. And also, when we get to 85k, bro, then it's only 15k till 100k. Like, the math work out, bro. The math work out. And it's that's close, man. That's close.
No one can question your IQ, man. You're smart.
Too smart. But yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your Friday. We'll be back in a bit with some more content, with whatever news it is. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.